Lend me your ear. I got something you need to hear. Turn the volume up so it's loud and clear. A podcast where we talk about politics and culture, unscripted, no limits. Like a 504 soldier, we're not pretenders, ain't no agendas. Our only plan is to keep it 100 and do it for the fam. Yeah. What up? What up? What up?
What's going on?
I'm 6 Mil, keeping it trill.
It's your boy KG.
Welcome to episode 37 of For the Fam podcast.
So, I had several choices.
Several?
But only one of them made sense.
Wait. I want to know how you came up with several.
Well, two legit ones.
Okay.
One was going to be a joke.
Okay.
So this is clearly the Sean Alexander episode.
Okay.
Ron Artest,
Oh, wow.
when he was Meta World Peace,
Okay.
and one of Giannis's brothers.
See, I was thinking, now this is about to really get you. I was thinking Tony Parrish, who played safety for the Bears back in the day.
Oh.
That's what I was thinking. But he not even like, he's not well known enough to even get.
And it's funny because I hadn't heard that name in forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was searching, because I had drawn a blank. And then I pulled it up and saw Sean Alexander. I was like, oh, obviously
Sean Alexander, for sure.
But yeah,
for sure.
Christus, whatever his younger brother, the one that played on the Bucks.
I don't know him. I don't know him. We getting into some bad numbers here, bro. Until we probably reach 40 at 38. Woo, that's gonna be another tough one.
Especially when we're looking for black athletes.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple of famous NHL players that wore 37 from the Pittsburgh Penguins and a couple other ones, but yeah, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, 38 and 39 probably gonna be kind of difficult, but I think we could probably get a couple at 39 though.
Just wait until we get to about 81. We're gonna have a bunch of offensive linemen on that.
Well, no, you got a lot of receivers though that wear 80.
Well, yeah, okay, that's
yeah.
From 80 to 90, we should be good.
Yeah. Them 70s is when we're going to be offensive linemen.
Yeah.
60s and 70s.
We might have to go to college for them.
Probably will. It's all good. Anyway, bro, what we getting into today?
So today, on this 250th anniversary, we want to talk about the unsung heroes that helped George Washington cross the Delaware.
Yep. Go ahead, bro. Jump into it.
All right, so let me get my notes up here. So today we want to talk about a couple of people in particular, and just the 14th Continental Regiment in general. Now, the 14th Continental Regiment wasn't all black soldiers.
No,
but it was fairly, black, white.
It was diverse.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that they represented 10 to 15% of George Washington's army, which is insane considering he looked at everybody like they were crazy when they wanted to include black soldiers originally in his army. He didn't want any of these people fighting with him. Excuse me. So as he crossed the Delaware was Christmas night, 1776. And forgive me, I'm trying to find this brother's name. He was at the front of the boat.
Right.
And I got it. I just got to find it. He was at the front of the boat on that famous painting, George Washington standing up.
Correct.
They didn't use the wrong paintbrush, people.
Correct.
That was a black man.
Correct.
Basically, he was the engine.
Well, while you search for his name,
why the hell I just
to give some other historical context to this. So basically, we were losing, and there was low morale, to say it bluntly. And it wasn't until George Washington recruited this diverse coalition, like you said, black, white, indigenous / natives, to help get them across the Delaware River. And what they did is they sought out the expertise of John Glover. And John Glover actually was the one who, I don't want to say enlisted, but hired this diverse cast of characters. And they weren't necessarily troops. What they were, fishermen, mariners. So they knew how to navigate the icy river, which no one else was able to do.
And would have attempted to.
Or even attempted. And that's how they caught the British by surprise and was able to turn the tides of the war. So yes, you are correct. The black man on the painting, that is not a mistake. He was instrumental in helping navigate, but not just him, but other black men, other indigenous men, other white men. They were all intricate in helping navigate those boats down the Delaware River.
Prince Whipple.
That's it right there.
Of course, he had an elite stature. He served as a bodyguard in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And he was right there during the crossing and in the Battle of Trenton
Mm-hmm.
with George Washington. In doing this research, I wondered, why have we never heard the name Prince Whipple or Oliver Cromwell, which is another person?
Yes, sir.
So this is something I found. It says local accounts of the Battle of Trenton note that Cromwell fought with intense bravery, going house to house to silence Hessian snipers and personally capturing enemy soldiers at gunpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Now keep in mind, at this time, we were considered to be less than in everything.
For sure.
Like, think about that, bro. Raising children, breastfeeding children, cooking food, tending to the fields, nursing people back to health, and still considered less than.
It's par for the course, though. And I don't mean that in a good way. When we think about history textbooks, often the accomplishments of everyone, unless you're white, everyone is removed from the pages because they have to promote the white is right and we did everything. And this is why we say, guys, we're not just two guys that's always complaining or crying about a racist system. The evidence shows, as you listen to this podcast, as you do your own research, the evidence shows just how racist the system really was.
What we're doing is bringing light to something
Correct.
that
should have been.
Because this should just be taught.
Exactly.
And it's
no agenda.
No agenda. It just should be taught.
Correct.
We had to get over slavery.
Mm-hmm.
We learned about that shit in school.
Correct.
We didn't go home crying to our parents and expecting our mothers and fathers to come back to the school. I'm sure my parents were like, good, they should be taught about this stuff.
Right.
But nowadays, if you want to teach about how racist somebody's grandfather was or great-grandfather was, we want to send in counselors that tell you this will be detrimental to the learning of who?
Correct. Because it's history. It actually happened. These events took place.
Yeah.
So there is no what's the silly statement that they were saying, this make white kids feel bad when you teach about.
That's why I was talking about.
Yeah. No, this happened.
Yeah.
It's not about who feels bad, who feels good. These are events that have actually taken place. So forget about all of the making people feel bad, which is a projection. You don't know that for certain. These things happen and they should be taught because they're academic. They're scholastic. They're a part of history, and you can't teach history correctly unless you include these guys. So no, we're doing a service.
We are public servants.
There you go. We're doing a service by bringing these issues to the forefront, in my opinion.
And the topics are just, at least for us, they're interesting.
Correct.
And as you point out, and it's funny because it happens like every week. You'll reach out and be like, hey, man, did you listen to such and such?
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah. Man, they're talking about something we talked about 8 weeks ago.
Correct.
So as you've said many a times before, we're definitely on the right course.
Correct.
Of the topics.
Correct.
But it's just, I can't stay away from the fact that just reading some of this stuff, just think like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But then think there's somebody at the back of the boat, on a boat behind us, that's saying, he don't even belong there.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he even there?
Well, it's so interesting, right? And we don't even have to look far to see how these idiots are trying to remove Black history today. How Hexel is trying to demote or remove all the black generals, or et cetera, out of the military, just to cover up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even far-fetched. It's not even a conspiracy at this point, because it's happening right in front of our eyes. And this is the exact same reason why Whipple and Cromwell are not mentioned in the history books today, because they want to mute the significance of black people, period. Just like the Black Inventor episode we did. All of these things happened. This should be general knowledge, but yet we have to go do deep dives.
And they were called liars. Y'all want to add black people to everything. It's like, no, they were there. You took them out. Like the inventor that helped Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell.
Correct.
Clearly, Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell thought highly of them at the moment.
Right.
Of course, until the thing worked. And
then they try to take,
you know.
Oh, I did this. No, you didn't.
Right. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Now, I'm not saying you're not smart.
Correct.
We did this.
Correct. We. That's it right there. We did. Give me my proper due. We did this.
Because I'm not saying on a black podcast that the white man was dumb, because clearly Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison were far from dumb.
Yep.
But everyone has someone that they lean on and go, hey, let me bounce something off.
Correct. Everyone contributed.
Right.
Yep. Let's get back to
because we could veer off.
Yeah. So when I was doing, and I'm all over the place, but anyway, the Boston Tea Party was like one of the events that actually catapulted the Revolutionary War. I find the Boston Tea Party interesting for two reasons. Actually, more than two reasons, but two reasons that I'll highlight. One is the protests, I'm using air quotes, the protests that the colonizers, I don't hate to use it. Anyway, the colonizers didn't want to pay taxes to the Brits for the tea. So what they did is some, allegedly, dressed up like Native Americans.
Oh, no, that ain't no allegation.
Dressed up like Native Americans and went and looted and destroyed what would be today considered like over $1 million worth of product as a way to say, we're not paying taxes to the British. Everything about their actions back then would be considered treasonous or unpatriotic today. I find that so ironic, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, just...
It's the reason there was such hesitation to put their names on the Declaration of Independence, because it was an act of treason.
Right.
So a lot of those guys didn't want to sign it, because newsflash to everybody, July 4th is not the day their Declaration of Independence was signed.
Right.
So that's why it took so long, I guess a month later. But yeah, people didn't, I mean, it's very well known how many people were like, man, I ain't signing that.
But that's also why they dressed up like Indians to conceal their identities.
Yeah.
Guys like Sam Adams, because they didn't want to be identified as some of the people who were revolting against the government. So if we were to start revolting today, could we go and say, hey, whoa. But this is precedent. Since the Supreme Court, and now I'll get to them later in this podcast, but since the Supreme Court likes to always say precedent, and the forefathers and the originalists, this is how they thought. Well, if protests was what they used as a mechanism to gain independence, then why can't we use those same measures today for liberation, for independence, from what has become, in my opinion, a tyrannical government?
Yes. As we just talked about. And look, I want to say this. I know we said we were going to just, focus on the Delaware. However, this is July 4th, and this is the 250th anniversary.
Yep.
So nothing's off limits.
Nope. It's all connected.
Yeah. But I want to focus on something that I found very interesting. So throughout all of this, George Washington, there was a law in Pennsylvania Pennsylvania passed a Gradual Abolition Act. Gradual, which I thought was hilarious, which stated that if an out-of-state slave owner kept an enslaved person in Pennsylvania for more than 6 months, that person automatically became legally free. So you know what George Washington used to do? 5 months, 3 weeks, 6 days. Take them across the border for one night. Bring them back.
Restart the clock.
He was the president at the time.
Restart the clock. Ain't that the truth? No. You're right. Because this is why I currently don't celebrate the 4th of July. I don't recognize it as being a national holiday, because how can you celebrate independence when a lot of you guys owned slaves?
So he actively subverted the law. While sitting in the presidential mansion. He owned, I think, 123 slaves himself. There was a total of 361 or something like that on his plantation. The rest of those slaves belonged to Martha's ex-husband. So they weren't his legally.
They were hers.
They were her. They belonged to the estate.
Interesting.
You know how crazy it is we're talking? Like we're talking about that cup you're drinking from? We're talking about human beings.
For sure. Property. It's sick, bro.
He had a chef he called Hercules. He made the name. And that's Hercules. Probably because he was strong as hell. You know, he probably could have just folded George Washington.
Right.
Granted, I understand George Washington was 6'2" and apparently built like a professional boxer. But the fact that he was the president and had all of these slaves on his estate and is often celebrated for freeing, air quotation, slaves after he passed. And he didn't.
No.
He said in his final declaration, they are to be freed when Martha dies.
So check this out. Are you familiar with the rumor about George Washington's teeth?
Oh, yeah.
For those who are not familiar with the rumor about George Washington's teeth, what he was doing, right? Because the story goes that he had incredibly bad teeth.
Yeah. One of his many ailments.
Yeah. So what he did, purportedly, allegedly, he would take the teeth from his slaves and have them constructed into dentures and put in his mouth. Now, hold on. Let me just get this one point off. People that you think are less than, as you were just saying, people that you think are animals, because we know that they used to say that all the time, but they're good enough for you to take their teeth. One, that's disgusting
as hell.
But it's nuts to me how, on one hand, you think that these people are nothing, but yet they're so useful to you in so many other ways. And it just shows the hypocrisy of it all.
Are you familiar with Ona Judge?
No.
So Ona Judge was Martha Washington's personal maid.
A black woman, I'm assuming.
So in 1796, she found out she was going to be given away as a wedding present to Martha's granddaughter. She was 22 years old at the time. So she walked out and escaped while the family was eating dinner one night. Rumors are George Washington was so angry that he used the power of the presidency to put together a mob of people to travel to where she was and try to kidnap her.
Wow.
So, before Trump, I want you to think of what the repercussions would have been for something like that. For either Bush, Nixon, Carter, Obama, Clinton, they would have been out of office just like that. If someone found out, unless it was the FBI and the person's a criminal, which that's a whole different conversation nowadays as well, too.
Right.
But she was 22 years old. She was going to be given away as a Christmas present.
You said property, bro.
By this so-called great man.
Right. Property. Let's get back to the Delaware crossing real quick, because it wasn't just troops that went across the Delaware. Just the troops in itself would have been an amazing feat to navigate that many boats through the icy river, but they were also transporting artillery, cannons, things of that nature. So that's also why they were able to surprise the British and basically turn the tides of the war, because they the British didn't expect them to show up, but I think they showed up in the middle of the night.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and it was foggy, so it was like, surprise! Yeah, and just started wreaking havoc. So yeah, we would not have won the Revolutionary War without this diverse cast of characters who were instrumental, not just in that, but I also think, if my memory serves me correctly, that there was an event that happened beforehand.
August.
Yeah, that they had to go, exactly, they had to go rescue some people, because again, they couldn't navigate the waters and they needed those fishermen to help navigate and get those troops to that area to fight, because they were basically boxed in.
So yeah, they were gonna die.
Yeah.
They were literally cornered.
Yeah.
And what was his name? John Glover.
Correct.
Who was the colonel. He brought them in to rescue George Washington.
Correct.
And his 9,000
soldiers. Correct. They were goners.
Yeah, they were dead. Like, British had them cornered in Brooklyn, and there was no escape.
Nowhere to go.
Never heard of the Battle of Long Island. Nah, I could be just because I didn't know. I knew about crossing the Delaware 2 months later.
Correct.
Why didn't I know about the Battle of Long Island?
Correct.
Because I'm sure now, if they decide to start teaching it, it'll be, he was cornered.
Yeah.
He fought his way out.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was fighting.
Propaganda.
Because he didn't want to die.
Yeah.
But he was a goner had he not been saved by the 14th Regiment.
It doesn't fit the narrative, bro.
Exactly.
It doesn't fit. And that's what we mean to the audience. That's what we mean when we say teach history without an agenda. Just teach it the way that it happened. And it's okay. We understand that people had flaws. We understand that people didn't always win, because that's life. You don't always win. Let's stop trying to glorify these guys and put them on God status, and just tell it like it is.
And something we've neglected to say, we keep calling them the 14th Regiment, which they are, but they are the Marblehead Mariners.
Correct. Because they were fishermen, basically.
One of the craziest things about all of this, 6 days later, they disbanded. They were gone, back to their homes.
Let's get in, handle our business, and go about our...
Their contracts expired. Now, I want everyone listening to think about this. They saved the American Revolution in a matter of months.
They saved America.
They saved it. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. They hated the way this country was so much that even after showing their worth and the appreciation from George Washington, to his credit, he wanted them to stay. He wanted to give them more contracts. Obviously, there was a hidden agenda somewhere. They looked at him and was like, nah, we out of here.
Funny you say that.
And they left.
Funny you say that.
And went back to poverty.
Funny you say that. Was also not mentioned. Some former enslaved actually went and fought for the British.
Yeah.
They're like, screw this, because they were more accepting at that time. For those who don't know, America was the last, L-A-S-T, last country to abolish slavery. So a lot of these guys were like, hey, I'm going to go fight for them, because at least over there I can be free.
Well, here's the thing, not to, because the British made billions.
Off the islands.
Trade.
Oh, sure.
However, this is the true definition of the lesser of two evils.
Correct.
And to me, this is the only time Like when people say, well, I didn't vote, I voted this way because it's the lesser of two evils. No. This truly is, damn, at least these motherfuckers not trying to still keep me enslaved.
Correct.
Or hell. And obviously I know slavery's bad, but it ain't gonna be as bad as I'm being treated like okay.
Correct. It was the lesser of two evils. And again, I'm not trying to absolve Great Britain. I'm not trying to absolve them because in the islands, you're right. They made a shit ton of money off of slavery. They made a shit ton of money off of all of the minerals they stole out of Africa.
Slavery, in my opinion, is the only reason that they're still powerful today.
And America also.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We wouldn't be the captains of industry without slavery and all of the free labor.
You know something I found interesting? And this might seem off subject, but not really. The dentures he wore were so uncomfortable that he was forced to keep his mouth shut and clench his jaws.
To keep them in place?
To keep him in place because he was in so much discomfort.
Oh, wow.
So this whole myth of the stern, serious, he couldn't open his mouth without his dentures flying out.
So instead of being stoic, it was just a way to relieve the pain.
He couldn't wait to get home.
And take this shit out his mouth.
Yeah, it says they were ill-fitted and they forced his mouth shut, and to keep them from popping open, he had to clench his jaw constantly, which made him look stiff, stern, and uncommunicative. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And it gave him a rigid aura, like I'm the man. It was I'm sure he wanted to smile and talk to y'all, but he couldn't.
Right. Interesting perspective. When you put things in proper perspective, you get a whole different idea.
And the crazy thing is this too. I'm sure, and Shane Gillis did a skit on this, and it was funny as hell, where he talked about how the average person back then was 5'7". And then you've got this 6'2" redhead, which, by the way, everybody, George Washington was a redhead.
Because that was a wig.
Right. 6'2" redhead jumping out of the bushes, coming across the Delaware, Christmas, 3 a.m. with ice, sleet, rain, snow. Of course, they're going to be terrified of this dude. But the perspective, as you've said, he's regarded as just this stern leader. And he had his flaws. Well, just like every other president has had their flaws.
Sure.
Including the one on TV behind you. Right
sure.
Now. But, well, it was on TV.
But the truth is, his grill was just jacked up.
Oh, man.
What you call stern, stoic?
No.
His grill was just jacked up.
He was in pain.
Yeah.
He did not want to be there.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, y'all. I hope we've educated you guys some on the Delaware crossing, the painting. Yeah, the black guy that's sitting there on the boat. That's not a mistake. It actually was a diverse cast of characters. And without this diverse cast of characters, we may still be under British rule.
Or it may have taken another 100
years. Just something to think about. So with that being said, we're going to move right into our current events, which may be a continuation of this current conversation that we're having. So go ahead, my brother, if you got a current event.
So I was going to talk about not necessarily George Washington. I was actually going to talk about the ultimate American hypocrite.
Okay.
Mr. Thomas Jefferson.
Okay, give it to me.
This is going to sound like I'm giving you 2 closing monologues. But I got some stuff I wrote down. Like the head, here it go.
Let it fly.
So since grade school, we're conditioned to revere this man as the architect of freedom. The guy who penned the words, all men are created equal. Sounds good. Poetic. But if you pull back the curtain, the dissonance will make your head spin. This is a man who enslaved 600 human beings over the course of his life. He ran his finances on it as well. He didn't just participate. Everything he did was based on slavery. He fathered 6 children with Miss Sally Hemings. She was an enslaved woman in his household. Little side note about her that's going to mess you up when I'm done. Think about the gymnastics, the mental gymnastics. Your own flesh and blood was your legal property.
Mm.
And he didn't treat them like they was children. He treated them like legal property.
Oh, for sure. They could not claim them.
Right. So he notoriously gets a historical pass. They say, oh, he was just a man of his time. He knew exactly what he was doing. George Washington, as we mentioned before, for all his flaws, at least, and I can't believe I'm giving him credit for this, he left instructions to free the people upon his wife's death.
Mm-hmm.
When Jefferson died, he was drowning in debt from buying French wine and luxury goods that he only freed a tiny handful of people in his will, mostly members of the Hennings family. The rest were put on an auction block and sold off to pay his debts, 3 of those being his own damn children. When Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence, he actually wrote a 168-word condemnation of the transatlantic slave trade. Most people don't realize that. He literally called it a cruel war against human nature itself.
While owning slaves.
He blamed the King of England for forcing slavery onto the colonies, but when the Continental Congress sat down to review it, the delegates from Georgia and South Carolina threw a fit.
Why?
You know why. They wanted it out. And northern merchants who built the ships for those damn routes, which we'll talk about that shit too. That doesn't get talked about enough.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those damn ships were built here in New England
to
transport these slaves. We're like, we get taught, oh, they're all built in Africa. No. We built those ships as well. He said, nah, we'll just go ahead and take this out when those different states complained. He folded. They struck the 168 words from the document to keep the peace and protect the bottom line. Did you know that Sally Hemings was his wife's half-sister?
Hold it. How? I knew she was biracial, but so somebody, her father was white, is what you're trying to say? Interesting, bro.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm gonna verify it. I'm gonna verify it. Yes. I just wanted to verify. They were half sisters. They shared the same father, a wealthy Virginia planter and slave trader named John Wells.
Oh, wow.
So Martha's mother, John Wells' first wife, was Martha Epps. They had Martha, who went on to marry Thomas Jefferson. Sally's mother, an enslaved woman named Betty Hemings, who was owned by John Wells. After his third wife died, Wells took Betty as his concubine. They had 6 children together, the youngest was Sally Hemings. So not only is Thomas Jefferson a piece of shit, Martha's father was a piece of shit.
A few things. Were you finished with that, by the way? A few things. I think it's so cowardice when people say he was a man of the times, basically meaning I'm not going to stand up for what's right because this is the way that things have always been. That's weak to me. That's so weak.
Because you know right and wrong.
That part.
Living life makes you aware
that part
of right and wrong.
That part. That is such a weak excuse to not change things because this is the way it's always been. Nah, later for that. That's whack. If you know something is wrong, stand up on it, call it out, point out that it's wrong. You may not be able to get the change immediately, but you may spark the next mind that gets the change. But you got to call these things out. You just can't say, I accept it because that's the way it's always been. That's whack. 2 things. And this is why I interrupted. And I, not as an insult. I wanted you to get to the 3/5 clause.
Oh.
When you were talking about Georgia. Because what happened with the 3/5 clause and that compromise that you were talking about, that led to the electoral college vote. So what am I trying to say here? Basically, the compromise was the 3/5 clause. Slaves are 3/5 of a human. That was so they couldn't have rights. But on the flip side of that, they wanted to be included, or at least the leaders of Georgia and what was the other state?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. What they wanted was those 3/5 of a slave to be counted as part of the population, which would in turn give them more voting power, which is how you got the electoral. Because they didn't want them to succeed. They wanted to keep the 13 colonies together, so they folded on that. And this is how we got the Electoral College that still exists today. And let's just make it plain. We wouldn't have fucking Donald Trump without the Electoral College. Oh, he beat Kamala. Yeah, he did. But he didn't beat Hillary. The popular vote was what, a 3 million, 3 million difference? He would not have been president the first time if we just went by the popular vote where every vote counts. We wouldn't have Trump, and we wouldn't be in this situation that we are in today without the Electoral College. Don't tell me we don't need to get that shit off the books. It's done. It's over. It's outdated.
And for those that say, well, he beat Kamala Harris in the popular vote recently. Okay, fine. But he wouldn't have been running the second time.
Correct.
He wouldn't have even been on the ticket.
Correct.
And before him, who was the only president won the popular vote in our lifetime that's a Republican? I think Reagan did it once, and Bush did it because of after 9/11 and how he handled 9/11, which we now realize is a shit show.
Correct. That's all I got on that. You got anything to add?
Nope.
All right, cool. I want to talk about for my current event, the Supreme Court, because they're ending their session, made some judgments on a few key issues. One being birthright citizenship, which they upheld. Cool. No complaints about that, even though it was 5-4, which means it's way closer than what it should be, but no complaints because it upheld. But the TPS, the temporary protective status, only against Haitians and Syrians. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy that they are voting to get rid of TPS. Here's something that a lot of people probably don't know. The only reason the Louisiana Purchase happened is because of the Haitian Revolution. A large chunk of America would be French if it weren't for the Haitians. Man, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. The Haitian Revolution, they were successful in fighting the French. Napoleon, we don't want to be slaves anymore. We're going to fight tooth and nail to be free. They beat the French so bad that Napoleon was like, hey, you know what? Y'all can have all of that land. I don't even want that shit. Just give me some money, get it off my hands. That's how bad the Haitians beat Napoleon them in the Haitian Revolution. And that's why we had the Louisiana Purchase, because they were so down in the dumps that he was just like, man, just take it. Give me some scratch and take it. I don't even want the land anymore. So a large portion of America, the United States, is due to the Haitians. The whole cats and dogs thing is an absolute lie. JD Vance admitted that he made it up. Go look up that interview. He admitted it, that he was like, if we need to stretch the truth, we need to stretch the truth, which is amazing for him to say. We need the diversity here in America. All right, we need the temporary protective status. It's not because people want to come here and have babies and get welfare. It's not that. That factory owner in Ohio said that they basically saved the town of Springfield.
Yes, yeah.
Because they came to work. They did the work They went home. They kept his business thriving. It's nuts how racist and how feckless the Supreme Court really is. A lot of these guys have temporary protective status because they're fleeing violence, which was a big thing in Haiti when the gangs took over and overthrew the government. The earthquakes that happened in Haiti that left a lot of people displaced. They needed to come here. And they've been nothing but not protective, productive since they've come here. A lot of these people take care of your grandparents or your parents because they work in nursing homes. They are the ones who are shepherding your loved ones into the afterlife. Get past your racism and recognize how pivotal these people are to American history, American legacy, and just the continuation of that legacy today. Go ahead, my brother.
So I want to add something to it. So this was 1804 with Napoleon. Although they gained, and I'll use air quotes, their freedom, the Western world stood up and said, nope. They were slapped. Even Great Britain stepped in and slapped an embargo on them.
There you go.
Nobody would trade with them.
There you go. Which is why they're destitute to this day.
Correct. So what they did, they didn't want, especially the United States, the example, they didn't want any of that information getting, into the heads of black folks in the South.
Creole.
Where they could potentially revolt against what was going on as far as slavery goes. And then in 1825, which I didn't know about this, French King Charles sent a fleet of 14 warships and parked them off the coast of Haiti, Port-au-Prince, and aimed cannons at them. So they feared reinvasion all of this time. And from what I can remember, all that money that they owed was just paid off recently. So it says for 120 years, 80% of Haiti's national budget went toward paying off this ransom instead of building schools, hospitals, roads, and stable infrastructure. So for those who don't understand what I just said and can't comprehend what I just said, Haiti is the way it is now because the French have stolen from them for 120 years. They have been paying the French back.
Speak on it.
How can I say this where it makes sense? They are paying the French back because they lost the ability to make money off slaves.
Right.
For 100.
Right.
And no one stepped up and said in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, hey, this is wrong. We should stop charging these black folk.
It's reverse reparations, bro.
80% of your national. But what do? They have an earthquake. They raise a bunch of money. Who's the first person we blame for the money being messed up? Wyclef Jean. But we don't talk about the fact that France should have been the first was in line handing out a check.
That's right. Giving. That's right. No, you are absolutely correct. And I'm glad you brought up the fact that it's the embargo which kept them as a third world nation because the rest of the world refused to trade with them. It was economic terrorism. I mean, I was trying to think of another word, but that's exactly what it was. It was economic terrorism. And here's the other part that people don't recognize. The Dominican Republic and Haiti are on the same island. It's the same landmass. But Spain
had one side.
Thank you.
France had the other.
Thank you.
Now,
I
will say this. As someone who's been to the Dominican Republic, I had a great time. Part of the reason with Haiti having such a big issue as well with weather and crops and everything, there's a big row of mountains that separates east from west. But I want to talk about something else really quick. There are 3 words that we hear a lot nowadays. Right to exist. The only reason Haiti exists, they didn't have the right to exist. They paid to exist. France didn't think they had the right to exist.
Wow.
The United States didn't think they had. Canada, all of these sovereign nations that we praise and love so much. Haiti had to pay just to exist.
Interesting.
I'm going to leave it there before I say something wrong.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. That's my current event for this week. I'm telling you, it all ties in. It all ties in to 250. If you just look at it, connect the dots, it all ties in. We're going to transition now into our rant about a random topic. And, oh my goodness. I am, I'm trying to think how to be PC about this. I want to rant about 250. America's 250 celebration that's taking place this weekend. I need someone to tell me, how in the world do we take America's 250th birthday and turn it into a Trump rally? And I need someone to tell me, how are so many people who claim to be patriots cool with that? The reason the first settlers left England was because they did not want a monarchy. They did not want a pseudo king. How in the world do we allow this guy who doesn't deserve it, by the way? I mean, this is the most undeserving person in the history of the United States. And I know you might say that's hyperbolic. He so doesn't represent American values. How can you let our 250th celebration be about this clown, his rally, his speeches, the whole MMA fight a couple weeks ago? This is all about him. This has nothing to do with celebrating America. It's all about him. We need to wake up and do better. We need to recognize Trump is not a king. Trump does not represent America. In my opinion, he's anti-America. If you listen to the speech he gave the other day in regards to this gift from Qatar, which just reeks of corruption, he said America could not build the plane that he needed. What?
Boeing been building that damn plane for decades.
What? What? So you're basically shitting on American workers. He is the most unpatriotic president in our history. Wake up and recognize it, guys. He does not give a damn about America. He only uses it as his tool to get people on his side. That's part of the hustle. Let me always invoke patriotism. Let me always talk about how much I love America. But if you pay attention to his actions, he does not give a damn about America. One other thing I want to talk about, and I should have talked about it in my TPS thing. When they talk about people coming to America solely for the purpose of having children, so their children would be citizens. And we spoke about this on the phone several times. A lot of these guys are second, maybe even first generation born Americans. A lot of their grandparents or parents came to America for the sole purpose of having a kid here so their kids would be American citizens. The hypocrisy knows no bounds. But here's something that a lot of people don't know. How many Russian women that were linked directly to Trump were coming to America? And research this, please. Google it, whatever. They were coming to America with the sole purpose of having children in America so their kids would be citizens. The only difference is their skin pigmentation. It's the only difference. Listen to me. This isn't about birthright citizenship. It's about racism. It's about skin color. It's about skin pigmentation. If you're black or brown and you come here, they want you gone. They don't want your kids to have birthright citizenship, even though the Constitution clearly states it. Clearly. I mean, you don't have to do any type of interpretation. It clearly states it. If you're born here, you're a citizen. When you're white, it's cool. When you're not white, let's try and finagle. Let's try and find a reason. Let's try and do some phantom interpretation and try and project something into the forefathers that they didn't mean. That's not what they intended. How the hell do you know? You can't talk to them. How do you know what they intended to say?
Well, according to Trump, you can. I mean, he
did have a conversation with Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, he had a conversation with Roosevelt a couple of days ago.
Again, invoke the 25th Amendment. That's my right, bro. I'm just saying, 250 is not about Trump. All right, y'all. America is America with or without Trump, and he's actually one of the biggest stains on America in recent history.
And just to add a couple of things to yours, because I'm going to continue with the 250 conversation. Do your research on Donald Trump. He's been a stain. He was a stain on the socialite scene in New York City. They hated him, which is why he left New York City, built Mar-a-Lago, and started navigating towards being friends with Bill and Hillary Clinton back in the day.
Right.
Because the socialites rejected him.
Right.
They thought he was a clown.
He wanted validation.
Yeah, he wanted validation.
Correct.
So get in bed with politicians will give you the validation. By the way, that plane that Americans couldn't build for him was built in Everett, Washington in 2012 and delivered to Qatar so they can then do what they wanted to do with it. So I'm going to stay with the America 250 stuff. So as I mentioned before we started, it was 2016, Congress put together a bipartisan bill for $150 million in taxpayer funds to be allocated to America 250, not Freedom 250. So the America 250 was promised $100 million of that pool to fund local and national events. But the administration choked the funding off and it only received $25 million, which is why you don't see all of these grand celebrations across the country, because he siphoned $75 million from it. So what did he do? He created Freedom 250 LLC, basically another slush fund. And guess what he did? He put it under the National Park Foundation.
Oh, wow.
So now he can do whatever the hell he wants to with it.
Right.
He's a con man. He's
always
a grifter.
Always been.
I do not have TDS. Neither do you.
No one does.
It's a made up.
Say it. Say it.
It's made up. If Trump was some dude I lived next door to doing this shit, I'd scream it from the rooftops too. Like, yo, quit giving this dude money.
Facts.
He's a grifter.
Facts.
What do we do with grifters in this country? We put them in jail.
There you go.
We have tons of examples. Black, white,
correct,
Republican, Democrat.
Correct.
You go to jail.
Correct.
But with him, oh man, he's so smart.
No, he's not.
Mr. Art of the Deal.
No, he's not.
Go back and look at the person and look at interviews from the person that helped write Art of the Deal.
There you go. Right there. Say that again, bro.
He himself. Where he didn't write Art of the Deal.
Thank you. Say that.
Yeah.
He didn't write Art of the Deal.
That guy 30 years ago said the dude was a con man. Which, for those that don't know, con is short for confidence. It makes more sense when you think of it that way. Because no one is more confident in their flaws than Donald Trump.
Correct.
That man could brush his teeth and one of his teeth would fall out and he'll go, this is the best set of teeth.
Correct.
Ever.
Correct.
And he would walk out on stage and you idiots and knock one of your goddamn teeth out your mouth. because he's doing. You want to talk about derangement syndrome?
Correct. Come on, man.
Y'all have derangement syndrome.
Correct.
I don't have derangement syndrome. Looking up facts and reporting what I know.
Come on, man.
Bro, you know as well as I do. I'm 50. I've disliked this man since we were teenagers. I have family and friends that can point to as many times as I said I can't stand this dude as a teenager, as a 20-something, a 30-something, and a 40-something. He's a con man. He's a grifter. There's tape of Martha Stewart forgetting that she was on national TV once and almost cussed his ass out.
His own niece talks about how much he's nothing but a grifter and how this whole thing is about the fact that his father mistreated him when he was a child. His mother and father mistreated him when he was a child.
You know who else knows that he's a grifter? Him.
Correct.
He laughs every single night.
Correct.
And I make no mistakes about it, people. When he acts like he's serious on TV, I don't doubt that there's some things that piss him off. You know, they shouldn't be treating America this way, or we should be doing this that way. I don't doubt that he's literally thinking, well, I'm the president. I'm supposed to talk about these things. But trust and believe, no one has taken advantage more since the slave days of the presidential mansion than he has.
Evidenced by the $2.2 billion.
Or if you have this downloaded on your phone, go to Google Earth and type in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Look at it now, and then pull up Google again and look at it 4 years ago. And tell me he's not the biggest grifter you've ever. He's tearing down a house that has not seen this much construction since the Great Fire. It's insane.
Here's my issue with that, bro. It's not your house. You don't own it.
It was
you
yours.
are a temporary. Exactly.
It was yours.
Go do all of that shit down at Mar-a-Lago. No one will give a damn.
No, I wouldn't care at all.
The White House is not yours. That's the people's house. You don't own it. You're a temporary resident. You don't have the authority to knock down this, to knock down that, to replace the stone. You don't. That's not yours, bro.
Bro, you could put a basketball court, an NBA regulation basketball court in this ballroom that he's trying to build.
It's nuts.
What is it, 96 feet?
Yeah.
I'm sure the ceiling's going to be like 80 feet tall, too.
That will not be finished by the time his second term is up.
It'll never get finished because the second person will come and tear it down.
So you're never going to get to enjoy it. So again, what is it actually for?
You and I will be, realistically, 65 years old by the time the East Wing is rebuilt.
It's nuts, bro. It's absolutely nuts. But let me piggyback on your Trump derangement syndrome thing that he's trying to get made an actual illness.
We should buy t-shirts. We should make t-shirts. I have TDS.
I'd wear it every day.
See how much money I can make.
Yeah, I'd wear it every day. Here's something that I find hilarious. And you know I'm a health guy.
Mm-hmm. I'm clearly not.
You owe...
had 2 slices of pizza before I got here.
You want me to believe this 80-year-old man who never works out, who eats unhealthy, who you said a couple of episodes ago had 22 doctors check him out, which is a medical convention. That was a bar. You want me to believe that this guy is the picture of health? How? A guy who can't even stand up straight. A guy who falls asleep every time he's in a meeting. This is the picture of health? Knock it off.
You know the issue I have overall? As you said earlier, we got to call a spade a spade. I think you said that earlier.
If I didn't, it's still true.
As much as I dislike the guy, as a human being, to hell with the presidency. As a human being, I think he's just the worst of the worst. He's 80.
Uh-huh.
He's supposed to have failing health.
Thank you.
He's supposed to have trouble staying awake. He's
Sure.
supposed to have...
Sure.
Now, I sympathize because I feel it.
No, facts.
Hey, I can sleep too, brother.
Facts.
But when we act like he's not 80,
right?
When you try to make excuses of him dozing off, it's
Correct.
like, hey, y'all, he's supposed to be dozing off.
Right.
Like, it's normal. But y'all want to act like
it's not happening.
Like it's not happening.
Yeah.
Well, some people say he wears diapers. No, he doesn't. Hey, y'all, he's 80.
Right.
If he's wearing diapers, it's normal.
It's understandable.
Well, yeah, better word. It's understandable.
Correct.
I'm not going to say no president. Actually, yes, I am, because he shouldn't be that damn old in office anyway.
There you go.
But it's all right. Look how big his ankles are. Well, I see plenty of 60 and 70-year-olds with ankles that big, right? So I sound like I'm sympathizing with him. It's because I am. He's 80.
Correct.
But I'm not blind. I wear glasses, but I'm not blind.
Correct.
I understand that these things are supposed to happen.
Because you're 80.
Because you're 80.
Yep.
But you're sitting here telling me that I'm supposed to believe that if this man decides to eat McDonald's for the next 30 days and eat a Big Mac value meal with a large Coke, that he's still going to be fine? No, he will not.
Right.
He will be 15 pounds heavier and in a lot of distress.
Right.
Quit telling me that what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing.
That part, which is the real Trump derangement syndrome.
Right. I'm going to excuse everything.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just look and go, like, you can still support the man and sit at home and go, man, what the hell is he doing?
It wouldn't even be such an issue if they didn't elevate it to the 10th degree with Biden.
Like something or Hunter Biden.
Yes, but that's a whole nother issue as far as Don and Eric are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that they try to put such emphasis on Joe Biden's health and he's not mentally capable anymore. But you totally ignore all of the warning signs for Trump. That's the part that's just like, no, you have derangement syndrome. You're telling all of us to ignore what we see,
mm-hmm.
what we can interpret. And look, I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to diagnose this man, but I can still see when something's wrong. I can still look and go, yeah, that guy don't look healthy.
And again,
I don't have to be a doctor to make that determination.
And again, at 80,
you're expecting him to have some ailments.
I get it. My father is 77 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When I see my father, there are parts of me that cringe. And it's not because, but I go,
damn, daddy. Yep.
The older I get, the older he's getting.
Yep.
You forget that sometimes.
Yep. My pops didn't even make it to 80, bro.
But we're led to believe that you and I have this derangement syndrome.
Correct.
Because we won't just fold and go along with
Correct.
whatever.
Correct. It's amazing, bro.
Speaking of that, mom's birthday?
It was last week, bro. Thank you for saying that. My mom's turned 86, bro.
86.
God bless her soul.
Yes, indeed. Great woman. Always has been.
God bless her soul. 86, man. And yeah, my pops died in 2010. So yeah, God bless her. God bless her. And I told her the other day, I said, everyone is special at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. So both of my grandmothers lived well into their 90s. Neither one of my grandfathers made it to that age. They both died in their 70s. So yeah, what we were just saying, bro, he's 80.
Yeah.
He's 80. There's health risks expected at this point. You know what I'm saying? There's not saying you should just throw in the towel, but again, if you do have ailments, you're 80. We get it. What Chris Rock say on that one special? They died because they were old. It's just a thing.
I remember when they reported he snapped on Netanyahu, which I understand why. I thought about that and I was like, he's 80. He's tired.
Right. He's crabby.
Yeah. He turns on the TV and he sees that you bombed something. Yes, he's going to cuss you out. And they're like, and then I saw a lot of people talking about he's losing it. No, he's just 80.
Yeah. And may be losing it. But it's because he's 80.
It's because he's 80.
Yeah.
That is the only time you will ever hear me sympathize with this man.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And the only reason he hasn't himself stepped away from presidency is because he doesn't want to be considered a quitter.
And because he's making a whole lot of money.
Because he has created generational wealth.
For sure.
For at least the next 200 years.
Dude, they say Barron's a billionaire. From what? With all that being said, y'all, I'm just saying, if you have to be 45 to be president, I think it's 45?
46, I think.
46. Mm-hmm. If you have to be 46 to be president, if there's an age determination for one way, there has to be an age determination for the other way. That's all I'm saying. At some point, you have to say you're too old to do the job.
I can't do this. Let me get the hell out of here. Let me go to Florida and chill.
It's just that simple. The most important job in America should not, in the world, thank you, should not be entrusted to someone who's not in their right mental capacity. That's all we're saying.
Or a con man.
All right, y'all. That's our right. And with that being said, because I'm sure we ran over time, we're going to move right into our 5 on the black hand side movie review, which is Posse. Movie starring Mario Van Peebles, Big Daddy Kane, which is my favorite rapper, Sally Richardson Whitfield, Blair Underwood, Tiny Lester, Tone Loc, Stephen Baldwin, and a host of cameos. This movie was released in 1993. It's about black cowboys, which a lot of people don't recognize that, yes, there were black cowboys. In fact, 1 out of every 3 cowboys were black. Another thing that does not get mentioned in history books. With that being said, my brother, take it away.
So I want to add a couple of people. We can't forget Pam Grier.
Yep.
Isaac Hayes,
yep.
Nipsey Russell,
yep.
Which I forgot about. And Woody Strode as the old storyteller.
And Mario Van Peebles' pop.
Yeah.
Melvin Van Peebles. All right, my brother, take it away.
That's Papa Joe. And we can't, man, we got to mention, Billy Zane played the hell out of this character. I hated him.
You know what, bro? Look, he did. I didn't even want to mention Stephen Baldwin, but I'm like, but damn, he was integral.
Oh, yeah. They back in those in those times, like they played those roles.
Right.
Going back to Usual Suspect, later Usual Suspect. But they just, when they were in the movie, if you saw Baldwin was playing them, you were like, oh, this is about to be good.
Yeah.
Because they go all in.
For sure.
Some of them crazy as hell now.
For sure.
But
shit, he is himself. Stephen Baldwin is going way off the deep end.
He's way out there.
Yeah.
So we'll do something a little different because the synopsis of this movie is actually broken down into 3 acts. So it's the story's 1898 during the Spanish-American War in Cuba. A decorated infantry of Buffalo soldiers led by the quiet, sharpshooting Jesse Lee, who was forced into the military.
Yep.
Is tasked with a dangerous, off-the-books mission by their sadistic, gold-obsessed commander, played by Billy Zane, Colonel Graham.
Yep.
The mission sees a massive cache of Spanish gold. Jesse and his crew pull off the heist, but quickly realize Graham has zero intention of letting them leave the jungle alive.
Yep.
Graham orders his men to execute the unit to cover his tracks. In the chaotic, bloody firefight that follows, Jesse shoots Graham in the eye, which is why he had
Where's the eye patch? Yep.
And the surviving soldiers, the wild card gambler, Lil J, the slick marksman, Father Time, the muscle, a Bobo, Scout Angel, and the fast-talking Wheezy. Flee the island by ship, take a massive crate of the gold with them.
Yep. So, I don't want this to sound like a diss. I like this movie. I like Mario Van Peebles. What I didn't like is, and this is sort of like the Quentin Tarantino effect, he had to be the one to kill everybody. I'm like, nobody else guns work in this movie? He killed everybody, bro. And I'm just like, bro, I get it. You wrote the movie. I get it. You directed the movie. I get it. This is your movie. But I'm like, God damn, Jesse Lee is Superman in this movie.
He sure the hell did.
He killed everyone, bro. That's my only critique. Other than that, I like this movie a lot because it did bring to the forefront the fact that Black cowboys did exist. And Black cowboys are often overlooked in history, just like we were talking about the Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The whole bull riding and all of that stuff that you see at rodeos. Black cowboys were instrumental in all of that kind of stuff.
It's why the Black Rodeo in Houston every year is
there you go.
So instrumental.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. But, you know, they always try and make it seem like Black cowboys didn't exist. But yeah, Black people were right there mixed up in that fray. As you were saying, the town folk.
Freemanville.
Mm-hmm. That's where you seen all of your who's who of Black stars. That's where you seen Pam Grier, Isaac Hayes, Nipsey Russell. They were all the town folk.
How dare you not mention Sally Richardson first?
We'll get to her. We'll get to her. Blair Underwood.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff.
Sheriff Carver. The turncoat.
Was he
the turncoat lawman?
Gosh, man. I mean, like, yes, watching the movie, you kind of think that he's the sellout. But at the same time,
yeah.
Hey, I'm just trying to I'm trying to get this money. You know, and I mean, don't get me wrong. All money ain't good money.
Right.
But I also get him being like a businessman and forward thinking and like, hey, I'm just trying to better the community. This will help us all in the end. Now, was he being duped? Probably. But I get his motivations. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, Blair Underwood is a vampire.
He's still, man, brother, still, him.
That brother looks great.
So, and Rob Lowe, we always mention.
Rob Lowe, yes.
And Paul Rudd.
I
saw somebody post, they said in a few years, it was a scene from, I don't even know what movie it was, but it was Selena Gomez and Paul Rudd. And the first comment was, in a few years, Paul Rudd will be young enough to play Selena Gomez's son in the movie. And I laughed because...
But it's true.
I was like, this dude we're 50. He's at least 56, 57.
Yeah.
Because shit, he was a teenager in the mid-80s.
Facts. Bro, and don't get me wrong. You can see...
Yeah, the aging.
Some aging on Blair Underwood. But look, if you go watch Crush Groove that came out in the 80s and look at Blair Underwood today, you're going, man, there's absolutely no way this dude is damn near 70 years old. But he is.
When I saw him in Tyler Perry's movie, that's the first time I had like seen him in a movie in a little while. And I remember going, man, that brother still look like he about 26.
It don't make sense, bro.
And he had to be in his mid-30s or late 30s at that time.
It does not make sense. And look, I'm not crazy. I'm sure he's using dye in the hair like Lionel Richie, but you can still look at Lionel Richie and go, okay, even though your hair is jet black, your mustache is jet black, we can still see the wrinkles on your face, bro.
You sure? After all that crap he done had done in his eyes.
You're right. But Blair, there's like no wrinkles on this dude's face. It's nuts. Anyway, to get back to the movie.
So I want to talk about something really quick.
Yeah.
So the revisionist history debate. I didn't realize until like because hell, we just talked about this, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
About Posse.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were people mad when this came out. Of course, social media didn't exist back in 93. With the cards that they used, erasing, saying that Black cowboys were erased.
Yeah.
Apparently movie critics lost their mind.
Really?
About that.
Really?
Siskel and Ebert even said something about he was over directing everything. And they said that they felt the the aesthetic of the movie ruined the traditional Western.
In what way?
My point exactly. They never. If that cast was all white,
no one would care.
No one would care.
Yeah.
You know, the crazy thing is, I think that he put Stephen Baldwin in that movie
to make a point.
So people wouldn't go crazy at an all-black cast.
Interesting.
And of course they did anyway.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, my brother, now you can have the floor and you can talk about Sally Richardson Whitfield. I just want to say, bro, oh boy gonna whip your ass though. Dondre gonna have some beef with you, man. All right, go ahead.
Bro, let me tell you something. I don't remember what it was. Of course I should. Do you know the first time I saw her on TV, I stopped dead in my tracks? I think I was walking by the TV.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And since that day, every time I see her, I stop in my tracks. That woman is, especially in this movie, was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't no punk in this movie.
Oh, no.
At all.
Oh, no.
I mean, she defended Freemanville against the towns, over the years and whatever. But there's only so much I'm going to mention about her. I mean, I'm sure a kid or something will listen to this one.
Sure.
But overall, she just bad.
So wasn't she supposed to be biracial in this movie? Which she's biracial in real life. But because Pops was her father.
Right.
But even though they didn't show her mother, it was mentioned that her mother was actually like Native American.
Yes.
So again, another thing that's often left out of history is the coalition between former enslaved Black Americans and the Native indigenous communities, So, I mean, and you see a lot of people say a lot of Indians, some Indians were Black. Yes and no. Yes, because there was a lot of mixing, but no, because a lot of them won't claim that they were Black. If you go try and get some land on one of these reservations, they're going to tell you to kick rocks. And be like, bro, get out of here. And absolutely not.
And that's a whole nother conversation. Like the way that the transatlantic slave trade affected so many different areas of the world that even people who are clearly Black just won't acknowledge it.
Correct.
It's like half of your country look like Wesley Snipes.
Say that.
But because you are light skinned, like me sitting here.
No, you're right, bro.
Like me sitting here telling you, now obviously we've known each other basically our whole lives, but my father is your complexion.
Correct.
And if I sat here and said, I ain't Black, I'm Black, man, get the hell out of my house.
Facts.
You see your great grandparents. Well, no, I'm not Black. And I'm only picking on Dominicans because there's a lot of stuff online with a lot of Dominicans be like, no, I ain't Black.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Tito Trinidad.
Yeah.
Even though he's not a Dominican, but Tito Trinidad.
Right. Like, yeah, you are, brother.
Yeah.
Because we can look back 2 generations and see.
Yeah.
Who your great grandfather was or who or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
If the Klan rolled up today,
you Black.
You getting hung with the rest of us, homie.
No, I'm Latino. I don't care what you are.
Yeah. Get this rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you are.
Yeah.
You don't look like me.
Yeah. 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 You getting hung with the rest of us. No, you are 100% correct in that.
So real quick, they had a production budget on this movie of $3.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Opening weekend, they made 5.3. Total domestic here in the States, 18.2.
Okay. Worldwide,
20.2 million.
So it tripled its money.
Off $3.5 million.
Fantastic.
And think about that time. I mean, Tone Loc and Big Daddy Kane.
Some of the biggest rappers in the world.
And you're not paying them a bunch because they're rappers.
Yeah.
They, and they were like, yeah, which by the way, Big Daddy Kane did an amazing job.
This might have been their acting debuts, right? Big Daddy Kane and Tone Loc?
I think Tone Loc it was for sure.
Okay.
Tone Loc was in, well, what month did this come out?
Because he was in Ace.
He was in Poetic Justice.
He was in Poetic Justice and Ace Ventura.
Shit, yeah, Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane, yeah, had to be.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this was Big Daddy Kane's acting debut. But he did do a hell of a job in this movie, though.
Yeah, smooth.
As Big Daddy
Well, I'm about to
Kane.
say, well,
Right,
yeah, that's
right,
stupid.
right.
That's
What else
Kane.
can Big Daddy Kane be?
So one of the crazy things I did see about Tone Loc, let me find it. So I guess they had to hire a personal handler for Tone Loc.
Really?
Now they say dude used to wander off set, get distracted, not pay attention.
Really?
Yeah.
Just out there.
Yeah. They had to bring somebody whose sole job was to follow him around between setups to keep him from wandering off set and doing something different.
I've been holding off on this the whole time we've been having this conversation. I was waiting to see if you were going to bring it up. There's a cameo that we did not mention.
Well, hold on. Who didn't we mention?
Let me know when you give up.
Well, it wasn't Robert Hooks. Shoot.
It's a black cameo.
Who?
Vesta.
Who?
Vesta Williams.
Oh, the singer.
The singer, correct. God bless her soul. Yeah, we didn't mention Vesta, bro. I was holding off.
She sure was.
Yeah, Vesta also made a cameo in this movie. Yeah, if you guys don't know, look up Congratulations and all of that. First, she was Vesta Williams, and then she became just Vesta. And I think her daughter performs now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, great talent, legendary voice. Vesta Williams.
Yeah, the voice.
Yeah, also had a cameo in this movie. She was Tiny Lister's love interest, if you can call it that. But yeah, I like the highlight of the black cowboy in this movie. I like the camaraderie between the Posse group in the movie. I like the fact that they were accepting of Stephen Baldwin, and he was just one of the brothers.
Hey man, you one of the crew.
Yeah. He was just one of the brothers. Come on, bro, with us, and they did him bad because he was a race traitor. But he was still down. He was definitely an ally. I loved Freedom Land being sort of like a Rosewood or a Tulsa before its time. You know what I'm saying? A black thriving community.
So you know what it was based on? The black community in Boley, Oklahoma.
I'm not up on that.
Yeah, it's based on that because the actual co-screenwriter, Cy Richardson, that story.
Wait. The actor Cy Richardson?
Yeah.
He co-wrote this.
Yeah, well, he co-wrote he was a screenwriter.
I didn't know that, bro.
Him and Mario Van Peebles.